Welcome all. It is time for liftoff.
T-minus 10.
Come
9,
on.
8, 7, 6.
Hang on to your
5,
hats, folks.
4, 3.
It's going to be a bumpy
2,
exit here.
1, 0.
In fact, grab the
Ignition.
person next to you's hand.
Liftoff.
Here, you can hold my hand if you want.
30 minutes after the hour.
Here we go. Hold on tight. There we go. Get out. Come on.
Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Get ready
For the ride of your life.
the show with no name tag.
On Vaughn Radio.
It's the show with no name. Let's go.
All right. Welcome back, folks. Welcome back. I missed you. Did you miss me? I didn't say did you. I said did ya. Did you miss me? Why? Because I'm American. We don't say did you. Too much effort. Did you miss me? I missed you. I didn't say missed you. I said missed you. So forget what it says in English. As I always tell my daughter, well, I don't tell her anything. But I think there are a few different lessons we can take from our new section, Learn with Lara, with my daughter. And that is present perfect what? Phrasal what? Huh? Why are you trying to confuse me, man? I'm just going to repeat what you say to a T, as if I were a parrot. And it's true, folks. If you haven't heard the section, it's a weekly section with my daughter where you guys can get a little glimpse, a little view, ojeada, I think you say, into how I teach my daughter on a daily basis. And we teach by doing. I don't tell her we're going to review the past tense or the first person or third person, but I do it. I feel like a manipulator sometimes too. But then when we're checking out at the grocery store and the super, and the woman's like, wow, this kid's sharp. Esta niña espabilada. And I said, well, I'm a teacher. She goes, ha, ha, ha. Now I get it. Because people ask me her age. I'm like, well, she just turned, recién cumplida, you say, right? She just turned 4, and she is kicking butt already. That's my daughter, Lara. And if you haven't caught the section, you can go follow me on social media. I shared a link where I posted it on YouTube. Yes, I posted it on YouTube. And if you haven't heard it, you're going to love it. You're going to hear class 2 this week. But, well, here's a little conversation, a very short snippet, cortecito, of a conversation we had yesterday, just to prove my point.
Honey, what's a phrasal verb? Is it a kind of candy?
Yeah.
A phrasal verb is a kind of candy. And, honey, what is the present perfect continuous?
The people.
It's people. See? That's how important grammar is and structure and all that. What's important is being a little parrot. Are you a little parrot?
Yeah.
So if you're a parrot, what am I if you sit on my shoulder?
You're pirate.
I'm a pirate. Args. Oh, no, don't sit on my shoulder. Oh, no. Oh.
There we go, folks. That's my daughter. Just a normal conversation sitting on the sofa. And I use the Vaughn method. And if you guys want to get involved and try some of our classes, I recommend you start out with Vaughn groups. Do you know about Vaughn groups? Well, I'm going to tell you all about them. They are group English classes that you can do via video conference or in person. And the good news is you can start whenever you want. And you can keep the same timetable, teacher, and classmates throughout the whole course. And the best part, There's no strings attached. Sin compromiso. And if you act now, you can get a 5% discount for paying up front. And if you stick with the course for 6 months, you'll get a 50% discount in June. Wow, what a deal! As if you needed more reasons to learn English with Vaughn. Check out our Vaughn groups. Have fun and make friends as you learn English. Sign up now while there are still spots available. Call us 911-385831, or you can go to our website, grupovon.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media and find out if Vaughn groups are for you. All right, guys, more information at our website, grupovon.com. Also follow us on social media, and you'll also be able to participate in our question of the week.
Question of the week.
That's right, folks. Question of the week. And by the way, great job. You guys, seriously, kudos. Enhorabuena, kudos. You guys have been doing a really wonderful job on our question of the week section. It's great to see and hear you guys making progress when you speak in your spoken English, which, I mean, what are we here to do? To understand more and to be able to say more comfortably, preferably, right? If we have a choice to not be like, look like somebody's pulling our teeth out as we're trying to speak. You know what I mean? So, but that only comes from surrounding yourself with English, and it's never been easier. And if you're not participating in this section, I don't know why, because it's very useful. I can help you with your pronunciation, and I urge all my students to get involved. Involúcrate. It's real easy. Just send a 1-minute voice message. That's right, a 1-minute voice message. You can record it on your phone. You all know it's real easy these days. And this week's, well, actually, let me tell you something. We're skipping this week because this week some people are going to be on holiday Thursday, some on Thursday. In Madrid, at least, I know we have a long weekend, so I will be here, except Thursday. Thursday, there's no live show. So it's a weird week. Since it's a weird week, we're going to be taking a look at this the following Friday. No este, sino el siguiente, the following Friday. So you've got plenty of time to think about it. You can even rehearse it, ensayarlo. What I do not want you to do, however, is I don't want you reading. Because this is what it sounds like when somebody reads. Hang on, let me do it for you. When you're reading, it sounds like, existen varias maneras de empezar un correo de trabajo. Para emails informales, vale con... Does that sound... You want to listen to that? Or you just saying the gist, the main idea of what you wanted to say. And if you're worried about the grammar, well, check it. So when you're saying it, you're confident, but do not read. It's never a good idea to read, even in a presentation in your own language. It's better to have bullet points, no puntitos que dicen, esto me recuerda que tengo que hablar de este tema. I got to go on a spiel. No tengo que dar una charla sobre esta cosa. And something that, you know your material so well, or you should, where just a few words can remind you of what you wanted to say. Right? And that comes with, again, practicing, exposing yourself to whatever the subject matter is. In our case here, it's English, my amigos. So, a wonderful thing. You guys should participate. Tell us this week, when do you feel most alive? Well, pardon me, next week. But you can send it in this week. No problem. Get it out of the way, right? Quítalo de en medio. When do you feel the most alive in life, right? When you're doing one, something, it could be as simple as when I'm in the bath, cuando estoy en la bañera, and I'm smelling my, essential oils. I don't know. That's why it's individual. It's an individual answer. And I want to hear from you guys. So let me know when you feel the most alive. When you're doing what do you feel? Because we're all living. right? You wouldn't be hearing this right now if you're not living. But are you alive? Well, not every moment. It's hard. Being alive, like, okay, well, you don't have to wake up. You can do things at your own pace. But there's certain things that no matter when we do them, or maybe it could be as simple as listening to music. You don't have to get complicated here, guys. It's a personal thing. So when you're doing what, do you feel the most alive in life? And we'll take a look at that in our question of the week, which, by the way, since you guys have been doing such a wonderful job here on the show, I was inspired. That's right. I came into the studio on the weekend, and if you guys are in my curious community, then you've already seen this video or heard the audio, but I wrote you guys a song. Yeah, I give you applause every day, and you deserve it. And you deserve it. But also, I was feeling inspired just because you guys have been doing such a wonderful job. You've been participating. You've been really giving it 110%. Well, show with no namers, this little ditty, esta cancioncita, is for y'all. Come on. Yeah. Show with no name in the house. For radio. Here we go. I want to send a shout out to each and every one of ya. I don't know what I'd do without ya. So, show with no naming, not blaming. We're learning and growing and doing things we knowing. We're loving, we're doing and making terms of friends. Yeah. A shout out to the show with no name crew. Yeah, Chris, Varro, Laura, and Kubla. There's Iron Man and Salva. Maria Jose, where you at? Where you at? Don't forget about Monse and Nudia, Nihal, David, Carmen, Jose Maria. Leo, where you at? Hey, Onyx, Edgar, where's Vero? There she is. Paco, Elena, Joaquin, all the show with no namers. Hands up with no namers. Lena, show with no name is our game, and it drives us insane every day that we're driving in Spain. Show with no namers. Thank you. Shout out to you. And if I missed you, you know I love you too. Yeah. Show with no name. Yeah. Vaughn Radio. Here we go. Here we go. Thank you. Merci. Gracias. Show with no namers. All right. Well, I can give myself an applause. No, it's not for the song. It's an applause to all of you guys. So I figured out, I was sitting here, I was inspired, and I'm like, you know what? And I improvised it. Okay, so if I missed some names, I'm sorry. It was even the sound effects the cha cha cha. I was doing all that stuff. So the best thing you can do, folks, is follow me on social media and I'll be posting that. Well, really, the best thing you can do is be in my community, and then you heard the song this weekend. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, amigos, for being a part of La Familia. But that's not going to get you out of today's challenges. No way, Jose. It's time for today's pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. That's right, amigos. That's right. It is time for your pop quiz here on the show with no name. And as always, you know it's coming. You just don't know at what angle it's coming from. But today we're going to be looking at one of our materials from the Von Tienda. It's called Natural English, Tu Guía Definitiva del Inglés Natural. I've got a signed copy here. And you know what I'm going to do? I'll tell you what. If you're in my community, I'm going to raffle off. Voy a, what's the word? Sondear, no, that's to survey. Hacer una raffle, I can't remember. Un sorteo. See, sometimes the English is, when you flip back and forth, when you flip chips, sometimes your brain just, it fries, right? So this is a great book. I'm going to raffle off this book. If you're in my community, well, stay tuned. It's a signed copy from Ximena. It's Natural English. Again, you can pick it up at the Von Tienda, vontienda.com. And it really gives you the gamut. The gamut is el rango completo, the gamut. So you've got a whole section, so 40 chapters on how you're feeling. And that can range from when you're feeling lucky, when you're feeling crazy, when you're being manipulative, right? Then you've got part 2, which is when you're at work. When you're at work, you've got when talking about figures or numbers, when talking about success, when you're working hard, when there's a misunderstanding. So very, very key expressions and vocabulary that helps you in any situation. Part 3, when you're out and about, cuando estás por ahí, traveling. So when things aren't going well, talking about fashion, when talking about friendships, saying goodbye, introducing yourself. This is really Natural English, Essential English, which is another book as well. But this one's coming from Natural English. And as a lot of you guys know, our materials at Von Tienda, they come with audio. And that is key. It's totally key, amigos, that you listen to the audio, and that's what we're going to do right now. So if you have the book, it is page 162. It is chapter 75, and we're going to hear a conversation about when something is safe or familiar. So pay close attention, and then I'll let you know what your challenge is.
Chapter 75, when something is safe or familiar.
Cuando algo es seguro o familiar. 4 key expressions.
To play it safe, to be on the safe side.
Ir sobre seguro, cubrirse las espaldas.
Above board,
De forma abierta, transparente, legítimo.
tried and tested.
De probada eficacia, probado.
To be in safe hands.
Estar en buenas manos, a buen recaudo.
More useful English. Phrasal verbs. To stick with.
Permanecer con.
To take over.
Tomar el mando de.
To end up.
Terminar en.
Exaggerate. An ordeal.
Un calvario.
Reliable to the hilt.
Fiable hasta el final.
Set phrases. Up to par.
A la altura.
To rest on your laurels.
Dormirse en los laureles.
Pronunciation.
Aguas residuales se dice
Sewage. Vocabulary. Cutting edge.
lo último en.
To overlook.
Pasar por alto.
I don't care, Jenny. I still prefer to be on the safe side and stick with Larson. They've been supplying us for maybe 20 years now, and they've never let us down.
If you had to deal with John Corsetto, you'd back me up on this. He's a challenging person to work with, irrational at times. Since he's taken over the water treatment division at Larson, the day-to-day stuff between the two of us has become quite an ordeal. And they're so cheap at times, I wonder if everything is above board.
Jenny, so now you think they're hiding some skeletons in the cupboard? Come off it. The bottom line is that Larson is a more economical supplier. Besides, we know them and know where they're coming from. We shouldn't risk our relationship just because of a management change.
You always want to play it safe, and I understand that, but technologically, Larson is not up to par. Thompson Sewage may be a little more expensive, but they're really at the cutting edge in waste disposal and processing. We could cut our costs considerably with their technology.
There's something you're overlooking, Jenny. A change like the one you suggest would require a complete transformation of our current staff. The average age here is over 45, and people will not adapt to Thompson's technology. There will be a ton of additional hidden switching costs.
But we have to evolve as a company, Laura. We shouldn't just rest on our laurels and become complacent.
We're the market leader. We're light years ahead of the competition in processing plants. Every city council and municipality in this country knows that we're tried and tested, reliable to the hilt. They know they're in safe hands with us, and we know the waste disposal business like the back of our hand. It's a rule of thumb in this business that switching suppliers can end up a fiasco.
Okay, Laura, you win. You remind me a lot of my ex-boss,
And who was he?
the CEO of Nokia.
All right, folks, there it is. Wow. Some professional business vocabulary over there. All right, let's see. This is what I want from you. I want you to give me 3 different collocations, expressions, call them what you will, things we say from this audio. Are you ready? I want 3 of them, and I want them in context, as I always do. You don't have to use them in the same, you don't have to make it part of the same story. What I mean in context is, número 1, yo diría esto. Número 2, yo diría esto. Número 3, diría lo otro. All right, my amigos. So, the first one over here is ir sobre seguro. Ir sobre seguro is the first one I want you to give me, and I want you to give it to me in context. The second one is de forma abierta, transparente, legítimo. All right? So the first one again, ir sobre seguro, no arriesgarse, to not take a big risk, right? To not do something risky. So you can always say it the other way around too. But then you've got the second one, which is de forma abierta. You're not hiding anything, right? There's nothing hidden. There's no strings attached. ¿Ves? En vez de solo decirlo, pues, ¿qué más está vinculado? What else is linked to this idea that we're looking at here today? And the last one I want you to give me over here is conocer a alguien como la palma de la mano. Conocerle como si le hubieras parido. I love that one in Spanish. But we say one that's very similar to la palma de la mano. So I urge you all to participate. And remember, if you make a mistake, no big deal. Realmente no pasa nada. You're here. If you don't make mistakes in class, well, when the hell are you going to make them? When you're out there in the real world? When you're talking? So take a risk over here. No vayas sobre seguro. Ahí puedes usarlo en ese mismo contexto, right? De forma abierta. Creo que todos sois gente sincera. You're all very sincere, straight, right? Frank. ¿Se puede decir franco, como decís vosotros también? Blunt people. But blunt can sometimes be negative. That was very blunt. So I would say more sincere. But this is somebody who doesn't hide anything, who's got nothing to hide. And that's a really good feeling. As somebody who has nothing to hide, I don't really screw people over. That's not my thing. I have a conscience. I have morals. So I got nothing to hide. And it feels good because I do everything de forma abierta. You can use me as an example if you want, or somebody you know who's very honest. And the last one, as I said, is conocer algo o alguien como la palma de la mano. You know them really, really well. And folks, if you know the show with no name really well, well, then you know we are off to a quick commercial break. I can't freaking believe it myself. Time flies when you're having fun. I hope you guys will join us in the second part of today's show with no name. So, stick around. Hey, amigos! Welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. A show where we play, we have fun, we interact, and we learn English too. Why not? While we're at it, ya que estamos. And this is just one of the many, many shows that you've got on Vaughn Radio. So download our free app. Descárgate la app gratis. If you have Apple, it's called the App Store. I think you call it Google Play and Android. Well, wherever you get Twitter or whatever other app you've got on your phone, search for Vaughn Radio and make sure you never miss a beat. Que no te pierdas ni una. Whether it's Fitz's program, No Excuses, or Ximena's program. Fitz's program is right before this show. Ximena's is right after this show. And you can start your day with the Pro Bow Show. Tons of fun with totally native Rob. And as many of you know, Rob is not just a colleague of mine, a co-worker, or the boss, because he's the boss of Vaughn Radio, by the way. But he's also a friend and a really cool dude. I'm talking about Rob Grams, and you can catch him every day on the Pro Bow Show and on the Lunchtime Show with Rob and Andy. And don't forget about our brand new shows. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Vaughn Radio proudly presents 2 brand spanking new shows. You can join Ruby every weekday on her program Speak Up from 3 to 4 p.m. Speak Up is for students who are just getting started and superstars who want to go over the basics. Let Ruby guide you through the English experience on her new program Speak Up on Vaughn Radio from 3 to 4 p.m. And Frankly Speaking, hosted by Chris. This program will be on every evening from 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And in Frankly Speaking, Chris Frank will make you feel like you were at the restaurant or bar with him in a totally native conversation. Learn English as you have fun with Frankly Speaking. So make sure you check out our 2 latest programs. You're going to love them. Frankly Speaking with Chris from 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And Speak Up with Ruby from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. I have a feeling, I have a hunch you're going to love these new programs. Exclusively on Vaughn Radio. Don't miss them. That's right, folks. New shows here on Vaughn Radio, and you can catch them all on our Vaughn Radio app. And ladies and gentlemen, right now it's time for the Say What soundbite. Yeah. Say what? What? Come on. All right, amigos, the Say What soundbite here on the show with no name. We're going to hear a very famous person today from an extremely famous movie. But that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't affect the level, how hard it is. I don't think it's too difficult. All right, maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. As always, and especially today, I'm interested in the accent. Where's this person from? Do you recognize the accent? What's going on in the scene? If you were just going to hear this once, which is not true, you'll hear it 4 times. But if you were just going to hear this once, what would you say? If I said, what just happened? What did you just hear? And I want you to tell me in your best English, as always, amigos. All right, is everybody ready? Here's the Say What soundbite. I'm going to give it to you twice right now. And then in the second half of the show, you'll get it a third and a fourth time. Here we go.
What does normal mean anyway? He might be a bit on the slow side. But my boy Forrest is going to get the same opportunities as everyone else. He's not going to some special school to learn how to retread ties. We're talking about 5 little points here.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Sweet voice, if I may say so myself. If you want my opinion, IMO, in my opinion, very sweet voice. But I'm not going to say too much more because, well, A, I know who it is. And B, I'm more interested in hearing what you guys have to say. So let me know what you heard. Let me give it to you a second time as well. And this way you can jot down a little bit more. Here it is, your Say What soundbite for the second time.
What does normal mean anyway? He might be a bit on the slow side. But my boy Forrest is going to get the same opportunities as everyone else. He's not going to some special school to learn how to retread ties. We're talking about 5 little points here.
All right, there you go, amigos. Also, a quick reminder, mark your calendars, December 13th. It's a Wednesday, December 13th. Richard Vaughn, the one and only Richard Vaughn, will be hosting Vaughn Radio Trivia Night at Roll Madrid. Oh, yeah. I'll be there. Consider it a Christmas celebration with your fellow Vaughn Radio teachers and students. December 13th. We'll see you there, amigos. I hope you can make it. It'll be great to mingle. To mingle is to mezclar. And speaking of mingling, let's go on over to our classroom here, our live stream, El Directo, and let's see what our show with no namers have to say. I hope you guys liked your song. Man, it took me like an hour. Okay, I did it in one take, but then I wanted to, adjust the audio, make it, put a little reverb in my voice. So I post-produced it. I hope you guys like it. As I said, you can have access to it already if you're in my community. If not, be patient. I will release the song on social media, on YouTube, and all that jazz. So let's see. Salva is in the house. Hello, Salva. How are you? Good morning. Great to have you with us. Let's see. There's David. David checking in. He says, good morning, Alberto and mates. Hello, good buddy. Amigo David. You were in the song. David, did you like that? Born to Iron Man. He says, morning, folks. You got your shout out too. Well, either way, I said everybody. So everybody's included, but some of you actually, you heard your name in there. Kubla, another one whose name was mentioned. He had a cameo. We don't say cameo. We say cameo. And Kubla says, morning, stunning individuals. I just want to thank you all. Superb teach and congenial classmates. I'll bring my modest wherewithal to make these 2.5 hours great. Oh, 2.5 hours. I think it's more like 2, right? But thank you, Poet Kubla. Great to hear from you as well, my amigo. There's Sophia. Sophia's in the house. Hello, Sophia. Lovely name. and a great student. Sophia's here ready to learn with bells on, con muchas ganas, with bells on. There's Laura, who's always here with bells on. She's back to reality now. No more New York, right, Laura? Well, it's great to have you back. She says, good morning, lovely show with no-namers. Let's make the most of these 2 magical hours together. Let's get the ball rolling. Oh, yeah, Laura. Well, now that you're here, we know we can begin. Let's see. Kubla. Kubla says, thank you, Alberto. Ditto. Great. Ditto es lo mismo, te digo. Ditto. Digo lo mismo. Copia, ¿no? Thank you, Alberto. Ditto. Great tune and melody. If Eminem listened to this song, he'd be proud of having you as a fan. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's not so much about the lyrics or it's the energy I'm giving you. And it's the same energy you guys give me every day. All right. So, and as you know, from time to time, you get surprises. It's not only the pop quiz, which we're going to look at in just a moment. There's Daniela. Daniela says, good morning. Being here is the best way to start the week on the right foot. So let's rock. Awesome, Daniela. Welcome. Welcome aboard. It's great to have you here with us as well. Let's see. Anybody else participating? We've got Marisol. Marisol says, good morning there. I wish you have a wonderful and productive week. Greetings. Thank you very much, Marisol. And great to have you on board. All right. We've got to look at our pop quiz. I've got a few people who think they know the answer. Now, the first one is to not take a risk. Another way to say to take a risk or to run a risk is to go out on a limb. Arriesgarse. So let me give it to you in context. I don't know the answer, but I'm going to go out on a limb. L-I-M-B, que es una extremidad, como un ramo de un árbol. I'm going to go, piénsalo, cuanto más, the odds, la probabilidad de que te caes, well, if you go out on a limb, if you risk it, if you throw caution into the wind, toma expresión. We're getting a lot of extra expressions today here. So Kubla says, I'd rather, Kubla. Now you're thinking, why? Well, Kubla, you don't know how many people say, I would prefer to. Why? I'd rather es mucho más sucinto, conciso. Right? I'd rather. I would rather, que no hay que decir would. Pues, ¿pa' qué? I'd rather, excellent, Kubla, good example setting. I'd rather play it safe than put my foot in my mouth. Number 1 is correct. Number 2, Kubla says, also, you can tell my statements will be overboard regarding that matter. Kubla, only because I know you love it. Overboard is too much. Hey, you know what? The party was nice, but you went overboard. We didn't need horses with unicorn horns on them, right? You went overboard, right? Esto es también en un barco. If you go overboard, man overboard. Hombre a la derriba. What do you say there? Well, so kind of, Kubla, you're on the right track. Vas por buen camino, amigo. But it's not to go overboard. But great. The first one's great. And again, you never get, you get the buzz. That's all you get. And as I said, some people like Kubla like the buzz. He's like, I like it. I remember the first time I played it, Kubla was like, oh my God, the buzz. So almost close, but no cigar, como decimos. Let's see, the last one, the third one. You should, because you know me like the back of your hand. Now we're talking. Ahora sí. Great. Laura, lovely Laura, there she is. She says, I'm going to play it safe. Wonderful. So to play it safe means not arriesgar. No. You know what? I'm going to play it safe and bring a sandwich just in case my daughter gets hungry. Right? I'm going to play it safe. And she says, I'm going to play it safe and I'm going to stick with my dentist. Good idea. Right? It's not fun to change dentists. You never know what to expect. So I'm going to play it safe and I'm going to stick with my dentist, mi dentista actual. Number 2, I know her like the back of my hand. I imagine in this case, your daughter, your children. That's a great example. A mother should know their children like the back of their hand. And she says, I missed the second one. The second one is to be frank, to be honest, to not hide anything. You know, to not be like one of these car dealers, uno de estos concesionarios que venden coches. No offense to you honest ones, but, you know, you get a bad rap out there. Not my fault. Kubla says it sounded like a Southern African like a Southern African American lady, because I'm thinking from South Africa. A Southern African American lady standing up for her child and demanding that he be treated equally in spite of his intellectual handicap. Kubla, I couldn't have said it better. Honestly, I couldn't have said it better myself. Let's see, Laura. Laura says, I heard the sweet voice of a caring and loving mother from the south of the U.S. So everybody got that Southern twang there, huh? Everybody got that one? The Southern twang? I heard the sweet voice of a caring, loving mother from the south of the U.S. And now my voice is not sweet, but I'm trying to do my Southern twang. And she's talking to a school principal. She's talking a school principal into keeping her son at the Vay School in spite of his intellectual disability. Why, I reckon you done a good job. Eso es muy del sur de Estados Unidos. You did a good, we would say in New York, you know, in the Northeast, you did a great job. You done good. You done a great job. Very different, right? The way they sound. So the one that we are looking for is above board. Okay. So let me give you the example they have here. Above board. ¿Dónde está? They said, since he's taken over, desde que ha cogido control, since he has taken over the water treatment division at Larson, the day-to-day stuff, las cosas rutinarias del día a día, between the two of us has become quite an ordeal. Buena palabra, algo difícil. And they're so cheap at times, I wonder if everything is above board, is legitimate. O más fácil, amigos, legit. All right, well, excellent job to all my amigos who participated. Wonderful job. Oh, yeah. But we've got so much to do here on today's show, so we're going to move right into our Spelling Bee.
Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee.
That's right, amigos. That's right. It is our Spelling Bee, only on the show with no name. And as always, we're going to do 2 rounds here. The first round is our lightning round. It's hellish. De demonios. It's hellish. But I imagine some of you will be able to figure it out. So, as always, I think just for the sake of simplicity, again, let's capitalize the first letter of every word. All right? Is everybody ready? The first one is LONGEST-RUNNING. Number 2 is SUNDAY space MORNING space TALK space SHOW. The third one is MEET space THE space PRESS. The next one is GERALD space FORD. The fifth one is MARTHA space ROUNTREE. And the last one is KRISTEN space WELKER. Oh my goodness, my amigos. Well, I'll give you some time to think it through with a little Oxford English. ¿Qué tiene que ver la Universidad de Oxford con Vaughan? Pues muchísimo. Es una alegría anunciar que Vaughan ha sido certificado como centro examinador de Oxford Test of English. A partir del próximo mes de marzo 2023, podrás hacer los exámenes de Oxford Test of English en los centros de Vaughan. Si quieres más información sobre esta iniciativa de Vaughan y Oxford, puedes ver más en nuestra página web, grupovaughan.com. O bien síguenos en redes sociales para más información. Oxford Test of English con Vaughan.
Brilliant.
That's right, folks. More information at our website, grupovon.com. Also, you can follow us on social media, and this way you will have all the latest information in the Vaughn world. All right, going once. I've given you enough time there. Going once. Go. Oh, hang on 1 second over here. Okay, let's see. Born to Iron Man. The first one is correct. The second one, there's no comma. You added a comma. You put no, I'm sorry, buddy. There, I see a couple mistakes there right at the beginning. So not what we're looking for 100%. You know what? And they're silly mistakes because the thing is, a lot of them is there's a comma in the wrong place. You missed a space. So, tough one today, huh? You know what stinks, Born to Iron Man? The words look like they're spelled right, except for like you put one word with another word. You put two words together that are not supposed to go together. So it's okay. It's okay. And okay is not what we're looking for. Not in this section. In this section, I want perfection, amigos. All right, here we go. We're going to do round 2 of today's spelling bee. Good luck. The first one is LONGEST-RUNNING. The second one is SUNDAY space MORNING space TALK space SHOW. The third one is MEET space THE space PRESS. The fourth one is GERALD space FORD. The fifth one is MARTHA space ROUNTREE. And the sixth and final one, this is very fair, voy muy justo aquí, KRISTEN space WELKER. So there you go, folks. There's your spelling bee. That is round 2. That is a pace, un ritmo. Me cuesta esa palabra en español. Ritmo. That's a pace that I think everybody should be able to handle. Let's see. Laura is taking a stab at it. And let's see. Without even looking at it, would you guys bet on Laura? I was going to say Lara, como la L de que me sale siempre es Lara. So, Do you got? I'm betting on her 100%. All right, let's see. Let's see how she did. Laura, the first one is correct. The second one is also correct. The third one is correct. The fourth one is correct. The fifth one is correct. And the sixth one is also correct. Wonderful job there, Laura, in our spelling bee. Unbelievable, amigos. You guys are doing a great job, but right now we've got to go to a quick commercial break. Grab a cup of tea, grab a cup of Joe, una forma de café, because we still have a lot of show with no name left to go. Hey, I'm a poet, and I didn't even know it. We'll be right back with tons more, so stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 3 of today's show with no name, where you can expect the unexpected, where learning is exciting, it's informative. We use pop culture, we use humor, music, movies, and the world around us to absorb as much English as we possibly can. And you know why I do it like that? Because that's the way I learn Spanish. By listening to Rafael. Si confundes tu cuerpo con tu alma, es que estás enamorado. Es que estás enamorado. Si percibes el llanto más callado. And I remember asking my dad, Dad, why is he saying el roce de unas manos? And if it's really la rosa de unas manos. He goes, no, roce, not roce. And I'm like, but he said roce. He goes, well, he appeals to a huge audience. But can you just imagine little Alberto walking around and, you know, in the elevator in Almería, en el ascensor, somebody being like, oh man, hace mucho viento, vaya vientaco hoy. El poniente, levante, whatever. And I would say, sí, vaya ímpetu del viento. Oh, man. Hey, and I learned one of my favorite movies, Días de Fútbol. Oh, I love it. I love that movie. Gotta be honest. So, folks, and don't forget how much I learned from the pages of Marca, El Marca. Here, El Marca, as they call it. All right, well, folks, we've got so much to do here in the second half of the show. Let's kick off with today's Homophones on the Show with No Name.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's homophones only on the show with no name. And just a quick reminder, if you can't join us live, you can always listen to these shows wherever you get your podcasts. Also, remember, we released an FYI episode on Friday on bugs with the wonderful Suzanne English Smarts. If you haven't given that a listen yet, you should. You can just search for Your English, and you can find it wherever you get your Vaughn podcasts. All right, so you never have to miss a show if you have the app, and if you also have podcasts. If you can't tune in live on the app, well, then you can tune in via podcast as well. There's no wrong way to learn English as long as you're into it and you're having fun. And here on the Show with No Name, we play. So are you ready to play? Okay, cool. The first word is the past tense of esconder in English, ocultar. So to put something out of view, to keep something a secret, right? We were saying before about being above board, being a straight shooter, una expresión que hemos visto también. Que disparas para adelante, no hay curvas, right? Todo va recto. We say, I'm a straight shooter. I'll be straight with you. Voy a ser franco contigo, right? So this is the past tense. Escondió, ocultó would be the past tense there, okay? And the second word is a word that means to pay attention, okay? So it's prestar atención, hacer caso, okay? What else? Prestar atención. Poner oídos, tomar nota, hacer caso would be the translation there, okay? So you've got two words there, el pasado del verbo esconder, ocultar, and the other one is acatar, hacer caso, prestar atención, poner oídos. All right, and speaking of poner oídos, here's the Say What soundbite for the third time.
What does normal mean anyway? He might be a bit on the slow side. But my boy Forrest is going to get the same opportunities as everyone else. He's not going to some special school to learn how to retread ties. We're talking about 5 little points here.
All right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. And we all know what happens in the movie next. I mean, does everybody know the movie? It's not the important part, but it's from a very famous movie. And then, well, next is a very funny scene. All right, let's see. We've got some people participating in our homophone section. The first person to participate is German. And German, those are the correct words. So far, so good. And he says they're not homophones. Interesting. Daniela, I trust both of you. And Daniela says they don't sound the same. Laura says the words are and correct. Laura, I expect nothing less of you. And they are not homophones. So 3. So German, Daniela, and Laura, 3 amazing students are telling me right now, not here, not today, not ever. All right, well, let's say the words as we always do. The first word comes from let's conjugate it. No solo miramos la palabra, miramos la idea, no en esta sección. We dissect it a little bit. So, hide. Quick, hide. Rapid. With my daughter, every time my wife comes home or her uncle comes over or her cousin, she's like, she hears the doorbell ring. That means to my daughter, hide, escóndete. And she does. She hides in the same place always, in the bathroom. And it's funny because the bathroom, one of the bathrooms is right by the front door, the guest bathroom. And then what happens is I always say, "Oh, Tío Marcos, how you doing? Great, great. Have you seen Lara?" And they always say, "No, I haven't, but let me wash my hands because I just came from the street. I'm going to go pee-pee." And they always discover her in the same place. She loves to play hide and seek. Es el juego que es esconderse y buscar. Hide and seek. You call it el escondite, if I'm not mistaken. By the way, there's an FYI episode on classic games where I learned a lot of them. And there's another way to learn, by the way, with memory, with who's who. You can describe people. And what does he look like? Does he have a beard? What a great game to practice talking about people and their physical appearance. You can't find a better game than that. And matching games. I mean, you have a million games out there, and if not, come up with your own games. And we'll be playing a lot of games in our Learn with Lara section. We'll be talking about animals in this week's episode. Animals and whatever else comes up. As you guys know, my daughter has a very vivid imagination. All right. So the first word is the past of hide. So it's hide, hid, hidden. Y usamos hidden como el adjetivo. There are no hidden fees. No hay costes ocultos, adicionales, ¿no? Es muy de marketing esa frase. With no hidden fees, no strings attached, sin compromiso, right? And a lot of times when somebody says, ¿qué hay escondido? ¿Qué es el truco? We say in English, what's the catch? They must be hiding something. Algo esconden. What's the catch? You're not going to give me a Ferrari for $1,000. There's got to be a catch. So, hide, hid, hidden. The first word, say it with me, hid, hid. ¿Qué dices? Hid, hid. The second word is heed. I want you to heed my advice and pronounce hid correctly. I want you to heed my advice and pronounce hid correctly. So I got a great example over here from your buddy German. And German says, I was not paying heed when I hid my car. Great, German. Wonderful job. And you can heed or you can pay heed. Same thing. So great job. German says, say it with me. Say it aloud. I was not paying heed when I hid my car. Excellent job in the homophone section, guys. And what do we have to do now? Oh, yeah, we've got to finish up our spelling bee. A nice round of applause as well. Joining Laura in the winner's circle, we've got Sophia. 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 Great job. All right, the first one. Now, why did I choose all these words today? Well, today in the year 1947, meet the press. Conoce a la prensa. Okay? We say the press is la prensa. Okay? Un kiosco de prensa? A newsstand. Bueno, no sé, en inglés británico es otra cosa. Para nosotros es muy lógico. Un puesto de noticias, like a newsstand. A newsstand. And, well, the press is anybody who works in that industry. And Meet the Press, still on the air today. It started today. It made its debut, and it is now the longest running television program in history. The longest running television program in history, and it made its debut today on the network NBC. NBC. And the words I gave you guys here, let's take a look at the words in the spelling bee. The first one is longest running, the one I just said. We use this for plays too. So, no sé si el hecho es correcto, pero te lo doy en un ejemplo. Te lo doy en un ejemplo perfecto. At one time, ya no, creo que es Les Miserables, pero da igual. At one time, Cats was the longest running musical on Broadway. El que llevaba más tiempo en puesto, en escenario, en emisión. Okay, so longest running. It's another use of run. We already know correr. We already know manejar. Who runs the show? ¿Quién lleva las cosas? Maneja. Right? Number 2, Sunday morning talk show. Well, it's a Sunday morning talk show. We don't say magazine. We say a talk show. When there are a few people around a table or sitting there, on some couches, it's a talk show. And then you've got your late night talk shows. You got your Sunday morning talk shows, and all of them have a different target audience, I imagine. I'm no expert here. Careful with that word. You don't know how many students I've heard say target. Our target. No. ¿Sabes decir get, obtener? Target. No es tanto get que get. Target. ¿Ves? Inglés. Aunque ponga get, no es get. Target. It's get. Madre de Dios. ¿Y sabes qué significa get? Capullo. G-I-T. So a target, si lo separas, tar es alquitrán, and a get, me encanta porque es una palabra tan, es una sílaba, es como, you're a get. Los británicos lo usan mucho. And a get es cretino, malnacido. I love that one in Spanish too. Eres un malnacido. You're a badly born. No se dice en inglés. We'd say you're a get, right? Contemptible, right? It's a contemptible person, a get. So, the word is target. El que vas, tu público, a que buscas, right? Your target audience. Number 3 was the name of the show, the title of the show, Meet the Press. Conoce a la prensa. Number 4 was Gerald Ford. Former President Gerald Ford. He was the first president to be on this show. And since then, I think all of them have been on it. Number 5, Martha Roundtree. She was the original host of the show. And number 6, a woman named Kristen Welker, and she is the current host of the show. So there you go, folks. And I think that's a good way to learn English, right? You can learn English by watching political debates or watching these kind of political interviews. They're interesting, right? And if they're recent, then they're talking about current events, cosas que son actualidad. But let's be honest, there's nothing like going to the movies. Name that movie. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's Name That Movie only on the show with no name. And the crazy thing is, I said this idiomatic expression before, and I didn't do it on purpose. You know, sometimes I link things on purpose. No, vinculo esto con el que canta la canción de hoy. But there was no link there. The expression came out of my mouth. And let me put you in the place where we were. We were talking about que no hay nada oculto, escondido. So hace poco, in the homophone section, saying, what's the catch? And I said, no hay nada escondido. No hay compromiso escondido ni nada así. So if you know that expression, then you know the title of the movie. But either way, here's a little synopsis for you. A guy and a girl try to keep their relationship strictly physical, but it's not long before they learn that they want something more. Oh, wow. You can get an hour and a half out of that? Wow, normally it's like one man, they kill his daughter, payback. You're like, wow, this is crazy. But a guy and a girl, this sounds like a rom-com, huh? A rom-com, a romantic comedy. Hugh Grant, hello? Meg Ryan in the 90s and early 2000s. So a guy and a girl try to keep their relationship strictly physical. Friends with Benefits, which is another movie. Interesting. And, I'll tell you the connection in a little bit between that movie. Friends with Benefits, que es Amigos con Derecho a Roce. El roce de unas manos. See where I learned that word? Thanks, Rafael. Oh, and you guys know that story, right? I actually had the chance to tell Rafael that in person, backstage. Thanks to my great friend Roberto Leal, we went to the concert. And then he said, I'm going to bring you backstage. I know you love Rafael. I'm like, are you serious? And he's like, oh, yeah, we're going backstage. I know his son and, no problem at all. And I said to Rafael, I go, Rafael, thanks for teaching me Español. Gracias por enseñarme Español. And he literally gulped. He was like, go on. You've got my attention now. Because everybody else is, vaya show, 3 horas. Y claro, of course, he's used, not that it's not true, but he's used to hearing that. So he's just like, eres excelente, tío, vaya crack, whatever. He's used to hearing it.
and it's true. When you've been in the limelight, in la candela, tanto tiempo, well, that happens. You can't even go to the bathroom, I think, or go to like a restaurant, especially being a superstar like Rafael. And I got his attention in 1 second. I was like, digo, buenísimo el concierto, muchas gracias, y gracias por enseñarme español. And he was like, and I was like, bueno, me crecí. I told him my story. I made a long story short, and he was truly moved. I'm telling you, Rafael was totally like he touched his heart, that kind of thing. And I was like, and now I teach English using music, thanks to, and I told him, and I said, when I first started listening to your music, Rafael, what I did was I had to write the words down, like you guys in the Say What soundbite, because there was no Google, there was no internet then. So I really had to work for it. And then I would sing the songs, obviously, as well. So I worked on not just writing down the vocabulary, but then working on how he put the things together. And then I realized you don't say roce here in Spain, you say el roce de unas manos. All right, let's see. We've got a winner. Please give it up for Kubla and Laura. The movie is called, like the great expression, No Strings Attached. Sin compromiso. No te vamos a pedir nada. Now, the interesting thing about this movie stars, again, this is a rom-com, if you hadn't figured it out yet. A rom-com, you can say romantic comedy, mucho más fácil decir rom-com. And it stars Natalie Portman and Ashton Kutcher. You say Kutcher, I don't know why. It's Ashton Kutcher. Natalie Portman and Ashton Kutcher. Now, the irony of this is, this tells the story of these people who are friends with benefits, or, pardon my French, fuck friends. Yo no lo he inventado, no me dispares a mí. So here's the interesting thing here. The movie is very similar to Friends with Benefits, that other movie, which stars Ashton Kutcher's real-life partner, Mila Kunis. So they both made the same movie, but like with a different production company and distribution company and different title. So, and the original title for this script was Fuck Buddies. Hey, don't shoot the messenger. They changed it to well, you can't get kids in that one just because of the title, right? They changed it to Friends with Benefits, and then they changed it again because they realized there was already one with Mila Kunis, again, who is, or was, I don't know their relationship, but at least at the time they were together. And so it was a toss-up. A toss-up is no podían decidir entre dos. A toss-up es cuando lanzan la moneda. And it was a toss-up between No Strings Attached or hooking up. Ligando, no? Liándonos, whatever. All right, well, let's take a look at the scene that I've chosen here. Emma says, Dr. Metzner, Adam, what's going on? What happened? Right? ¿Qué está pasando? ¿Qué ocurrió? And Dr. Metzner says, he sprained his wrist. So to sprain es hacer un esguince. He sprained his wrist, su muñeca, not his doll. He sprained his wrist punching a wall, dándole un puñetazo a una pared. And Emma says, you texted me that? She says, you texted me that you were dying. Me mandaste un mensaje que estabas muriéndote. And Adam says, it really hurt. Realmente me hizo daño. And Dr. Metzner says, I gave him some hydrocodone. Hydrocodone, I guess it's a drug, for the night. It's a very strong painkiller. Okay, analgésico. You might want to have Dr. Kurtzman here drive you home. Que te lleve a casa en coche, Dr. Kurtzman. You might. Puede que le quieras. Que es, ¿por qué no lo haces? No, it's a very big suggestion here. And here's a prescription for an anti-inflammatory. Anti or anti. People say both. And he hands it, se lo entrega. Muy fácil esta palabra. Entregar, poner en mano. He hands it to Emma. And Dr. Metzner says, don't worry, you're in good hands. Hablando de manos. Estás en buenas manos. Igual, esa expresión. Your girlfriend is a very talented doctor. Es una doctora superdotada. And to be talented or to be gifted son sinónimos. talented or gifted? And Emma says, no, I'm not his girlfriend. No soy su novia. And Adam says, she's not my girlfriend. They're embarrassed, right? They're blushing. To blush, and now they're sleeping together. Que me encanta esa palabra. Sleeping, is that what they're really doing? Sleeping, right? He's sleeping with her. Sleeping is when you close your eyes, and you usually do that alone. I think the correct word is F-U-C-K-I-N-G, her. I love when we try and make things sound more politically correct. He's sleeping with her. Yeah. Do you want me to tell you what we call that where I come from? I won't. We can say sleeping with to be diplomatic, but there's no sleeping going on here. And it's that typical thing when, you're hooking up with somebody and it's like, yeah, but we're not boyfriending. We're not you have the talk. Are we a couple or are we not a couple? Remember this common mistake? Partner uno. He oído mucha gente decir, my couple thinks it's a bad idea. Oh, so you're in a threesome. Wow. Pretty progressive. My partner, the two of you make up a couple. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having multiple partners. That's all you. But just know the difference there. You could get yourself in a lot of trouble there. So Dr. Metzner says, oh, sorry, I saw that he listed you as an emergency contact. Que aquí te puso como contacto en caso de urgencia. My mistake. No, you can say my mistake or my bad. Oh, and by the way, por cierto, I enjoyed your dad's TV show. Great Scott. It's funny stuff. Great Scott es la frase que dice in Back to the Future, Doc. Great Scott, Marty. Great Scott. Es como, recorcholis. Dios mío, Great Scott. He goes, it's funny stuff. Es un poco anticuado, el Great Scott. And then Adam says, I'll tell him you said that. And then she pops a pill. You can say to take a pill, pero también se puede decir, y suena muy bien el double alliteration, to pop a pill. In fact, somebody who takes a lot of pills is a pill popper. I love when we play with ideas here on the show with no name. But folks, right now we've got to head off to a quick commercial break. The great news is we've got so much to do in the fourth and final part of the show. So let the learning and laughing continue after this quick commercial break. Stick around. Welcome back. Welcome back, amigos. This is Vaughn Radio, and you're listening to The Show with No Name. Don't forget to download our free app, and this way you can take Vaughn Radio with you wherever. Also, remember to stop by our bookshop. If you're starting to do some of your Christmas shopping, you can get it out of the way at the Vaughn Tienda, vaughntienda.com. And by the way, thank you to all our amigos at the airport, our travelers. This book is the shit, is number 5 most sold book of the month at the airport in Madrid. So thank you. That's very special to me too, as a plane lover. Somebody who loves airports and planes. And I haven't been to the airport since. So people have been sending me pictures. If you guys are in Barajas Airport traveling, please take a picture of the window.
No, no la ventana, el escaparate. Esa misma palabra en inglés. But there it is. Libros del mes, number 5. This book is the shit. What does that mean? That world travelers know how important English is and how important it is, how vital it is to have fun in the process and play games. Are you guys ready for a little game? Are you ready for a little challenge? All right. I think you guys are going to be able to handle this one today. It's quite easy. It's today's double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble. That's right, amigos. It's double trouble only on the show with no name. And here's your double trouble challenge for today. Let's see if you guys can figure it out. I think, as I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this one a 4. So this is on the lower end of the scale today, but that means I expect all of you to participate. Here we go. Él dijo que iba a responder a las preguntas, pero está en las nubes. Okay? So, él dijo que iba a responder a las preguntas, pero está en las nubes. O está por ahí cogiendo higos y chumbos. I don't know. Que no está aquí, no está presente, ¿no? Let's see how they translate it here. I'll give you a clue if you want. If you have listened to the baseball episodes of FYI, I used the expression there. So let's see if you guys know it. In Spanish, it's dame un segundo. Do not consent. Of course not. Parado en el lado equivocado. Okay. Estar parado, right? Estás como, yeah, totally out there. Oh, I almost gave it to you there. Okay. So, parado. I didn't know this one. Parado en el equivocado. Let's see. English synonyms here. No, está enseñando otra. No, está enseñando lo literal. This is why it's really important if you have a teacher, they can help you look up things, but also if you look for a certain word, sometimes you get the literal meanings of those words and not the idiomatic expressions. So this has 2 meanings, really: to be odd or eccentric, right? To be kind of not really here, out of it. And also to be estar parado en el lado equivocado. So to be completely mistaken. Okay? There you go, my amigos. And what do you do when you come across these idiomatic expressions? Because you will, if you read, if you listen to podcasts, if you watch stuff, political debates, you will come across a lot of these idiomatic expressions. But at least you'll be familiar with them thanks to your time here on Vaughn Radio. All right, let's see. Daniela wants to take a stab at it. But first, let's listen to our Say What soundbite for the 4th and final time.
What does normal mean anyway? He might be a bit on the slow side. But my boy Forrest is going to get the same opportunities as everyone else. He's not going to some special school to learn how to retread ties. We're talking about 5 little points here.
All right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think anyone's figured that one out yet, so we'll see. Hopefully somebody will be able to get it soon, because you're not going to hear it again. Well, you'll hear it later on in the show when we reveal it. All right, let's take a look at today's Double Trouble. Daniela is taking a stab at it. And Daniela says, he said he was about to answer the questions, but he was out
and about. You want to know something? Daniela, I'm going to give it to you. Because out and about es por ahí, pero también puede ser por ahí, como que no puedes contar con él. No es fiable, siempre está como de paseo en su mente. Think of it that way. You know, you're going for a walk in your brain, and it's usually far from where you need to be. Piénsalo así. That's the best way to describe the idiomatic expression. It comes from baseball. Excéntrico is another way too. No? Anybody? Daniela, that's great. I'll take it. So he said he was about to answer the questions, but he was out and about. So I guess this one is I guess this one's a lot harder than I thought, because I placed it at a 4 on a scale of 1 to 10. All right. Let me ask you this. Have any of you ever given a presentation? Because this is a really common expression that you say when you're giving a presentation and you want to say, mira, voy a contestar las preguntas todas al final. So save your questions till the end, and I will, And you can say answer, but that's not the one I'm looking for. But great job, Daniela. You used the same word twice, and it's kind of the same thing. So Laura says he said that he would set out to answer the questions, but he was out in left field. I'll tell you what, I'll take it. All right. So, Laura, you got the idiomatic expression, to be out in left field, to be really far from where you need to be, really, mentally, right? So he was out in left field is the second part that I have here. Now, the first part is great, to set out, emprender, empezar, to set out. But there's another one. What about fielding questions? Have you ever heard that one? I will field all your questions at the end. To field, como campo, right? So he said he was going to field the questions, but he's in left field. Pero no está aquí, no está presente, está muy equivocado, está en otro sitio, right? He said he would field some questions, or I said the questions. I think I changed the translation. The idea is to field a question. Guys, please hold, te lo doy como lo dirías en una presentación. By the way, there's an FYI episode on presentations, right? So if you could all hold your questions to the end, and I'll field them then, right? En ese momento. So to field a question is another way to say to answer a question. And to be in left field, just think about a baseball diamond. That's like way, estás como en el quinto pino. Tú no estás ni casi en el partido. You know what I mean? You're just way out there. Okay? Estás, pero estás como por ahí, right? To be out in left field. Great idiomatic expressions that we use in the business sense, and they come from sports. All right, amigos, it's time for You're Joking.
Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar. You're joking.
That's right, amigos. That's right. You're joking. These are jokes that are all puns. Juegos de palabras. And I want to know if you get the pun, the double meaning in English. So here's your first joke of the day. What did the pig say at the beach on a hot summer day? What did the pig say at the beach on a hot summer day? Easy. I'm bacon. I'm bacon. No, bacon. I know you know that word. Lo tenéis en español. Lo escribís diferente. Bacon con E-I. But we spell it bacon, ya lo sabéis. No se dice bacon o bacon. Bacon. So where's the joke? What did the pig say when he was lying on the beach in the summer? He said, I'm bacon. Soy bacon. Cerdo está hecho de bacon. But also to bake is hornear, asar. You say the same thing. Man, I am baking in the sun. Me estoy asando bajo el sol. I'm baking. Now, the difference is we don't say baking. Why? Because Americans don't put the G at the end of the gerund. De hecho, hasta escribirlo es apóstrofe, no? We're baking, we're making and breaking some breakfast. You know, the G, we don't say it. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't write it at your next Cambridge exam, but just be conscious that G is just there, you know, for aesthetics. We don't really say it. So I would never say, I'm baking. Ever. Me cuesta y todo. So if you write it the way we say it, B-A-K-I-N, right? Con ese apóstrofe, then it's, I'm baking. Que suena igual que bacon. I know these jokes are sizzling. Espotorrear is the word. But also sizzling means hot. Que son caliente. Okay. All right. Never mind. Next joke. How can you tell the difference between spring rolls and summer rolls? Los rollitos de primavera. How can you tell the difference? Distinguir, buena estructura que hay que saber. How can you tell the difference between spring rolls and summer rolls? Easy. By their seasons. No. By their seasons? Summer, winter, fall, or autumn. By their No, bad joke, I know. But also seasons, sazón, como lo no sazoneas, you're seasoning the seasons. Okay, all right. Did you get it though? How can you tell the difference between spring rolls and summer rolls? Easy, the seasons. All right. I got another one for you. Why did Humpty Dumpty have a great fall? You know it? Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Lara loves that one. It's a classic. I used to love it too. Humpty Dumpty. So yeah. So why did Humpty Dumpty have a great fall? ¿Por qué tuvo una gran caída? Well, that was to make up for his miserable summer. No. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Great vocabulary we can get there. So you get it? To make up for, compensar por, his miserable summer. Why did he have a great fall? Una gran caída, un gran otoño. I think it's great. To make up for his miserable summer. So, tuvo un verano miserable. Well, he had a great fall. All right. And you want to know what? I wrote this one. Sometimes I rip them off the internet. Las robo de internet. That's what it's for. But this one I actually came up with on my own, so I hope you like it. Why did the reporter talk to the ice cream? We were talking about Meet the Press before. Why did the reporter talk to the ice cream? Because he was looking for the scoop. No. He was looking for the scoop. Well, the scoop is like the main information, right? Oh, I have the scoop. Tengo la noticia. You say also the scoop, la última, exclusiva, the latest information, the gossip, the scoop, el chisme, primicia. It's another way to say it here too. What's the scoop, guys? Tell me everything. So a reporter is always trying to get the scoop. They want to get the story and they want to get the story first. But also, when you go get some ice creams, we don't want to say, do you want 2 balls? I'll be like, I already have them. No, scoops. We call them scoops. Why? Because you use a scooper to scoop the ice cream, and then it's an ice cream scoop. So that's the scoop. All right, all right. Also, we've got Kubla taking a stab at our Say What soundbite, and there's one mistake there. One letter you're missing. So it's not perfect, but we'll take it. Not bad. And you want to know the thing? The funny thing is, I thought that was the word that everybody was going to have trouble with. So it proves I was right there. Well, either way, we're going to take a look at that in just a moment. But right now, it's time for famous birthday trivia. That's right, amigos. That's right. It's famous birthdays only on the show with no name. Our first person is an American singer, songwriter, and guitarist. He died in 2016. He was one of the founding members of the rock band The Eagles. You know those, Los Águilas? Living it up at the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place. But they also have Take It Easy. And they've got Tequila Sunrise, Lion Eyes, Gonna Be a Heartache Tonight, a Heartache Tonight. And he also had some really good songs as a solo artist. In fact, I remember the saxophone in the song, The Heat Is On. The heat is on. The heat is on. And also, you belong to the city. You belong to the night. He had that 80s voice. Number 2, she was born in 1988, an American actress and producer. She's been in many, many movies all throughout her career. She played an aspiring actress in La La Land. She was also in Zombieland. I guess she likes movies that have to do with land. She was in Cruella, Poor Things, and she also starred as Sally Bowles in Cabaret, which is pretty crazy. And she's still doing theater as well after being an Academy Award, Golden Globe winning actress. And in 2017, she was the world's highest paid actress. And she was born and raised in Scottsdale, Arizona. There you go. And last but not least, she was born in 1946. Her last name means Campo. We looked at her last name in Double Trouble, in fact, because we said it's another way to say to answer questions. Yeah, that word. The word that we doubled up on today in Double Trouble, that's this famous birthday girl's last name. And she's been in everything. She's been in everything, but you'll probably remember her from Mrs. Doubtfire, Forrest Gump. She plays Forrest Gump's mother, Steel Magnolias, and so many other amazing movies. She has been around since Hollywood's heyday, making movies. All right, let's take a look. Kubla taking a stab at it. Ooh, Kubla, the second one is incorrect over there. All right, not bad, though. We'll give you an applause for making an effort. Number 1, Glenn Frey. Number 2, actress Emma Stone. And number 3, actress Sally Field. And this is her in today's Say What soundbite. She plays Forrest Gump's mother. And the principal's breaking the news to her, saying, well, I'm sorry, your son doesn't have the right level scholastically to get into this school. And she's like, that can't happen. And they work out a deal. I don't want to tell you the movie. It only came out 50,000 years ago. But he sleeps with her. They don't really sleep. And a very funny moment ensues where Forrest imitates what he hears. So this is the wonderful, talented Sally Field. And she says, what does normal mean anyway? ¿Qué significa la normalidad de todas formas? He might be a little on the slow side, en el lado, en el lateral de tal, en la gama, ¿no? But my boy Forrest is going to get the same opportunities as everyone else. He's not going to go to some special school to learn how to retread tires. And to retread, so the treads are the things, the word there, a ver si tienen retread o busco directamente tread. To retread a tire, repisar, no, recauchutar, okay? So to retread is poner una nueva capa here. In Argentina es recapar, recauchutar, okay? To retread tires. So basically doing some kind of activity that means nothing. So he's not going to go to some special school to learn how to retread tires. We're talking about 5 little points here. Estamos hablando de 5 puntitos nada más. Here's the extremely gifted Sally Field.
What does normal mean anyway? He might be a bit on the slow side. But my boy Forrest is going to get the same opportunities as everyone else. He's not going to some special school to learn how to retread tires. We're talking about 5 little points here.
All right, there you go, my amigos. And it's time for Name That Lyric.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is... No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
That's right, folks. It's Name That Lyric, and wonderful job. Give yourselves a round of applause. Wonderful, wonderful job. Excellent. And I've got to say something. Man, you guys have been kicking butt. I hope you liked your song that I put together for you. And I hope you like today's song that I've chosen. It's U2, Mysterious Ways. I'll give it to you because we don't have too much time left. It's U2, Mysterious Ways. You know this one, right? It's all right. It's all right, all right. She moves in mysterious ways. So he starts off and he goes, Johnny, take a walk with your sister, the moon. Johnny, date un paseo con tu hermana, la luna. Let a pale light in to fill up your room. Let a pale light, una luz pálida entrar, to fill up your room, que te llene la habitación. You've been living underground, eating from a can. You've been living underground, and estás viviendo bajo tierra, eating from a can, comiendo de una lata. You've been running away, estás huyendo. What you don't understand from what you don't understand. Estás huyendo de lo que no comprendes. She's slippy. Ella es resbaladiza. You're sliding down. Estás cayendo, resbalándote. She'll be there when you hit the ground. Ahí estará cuando tocas el suelo, cuando tocas fondo, when you hit the ground. It's all right. It's all right. All right. She moves in mysterious way. And the last thing I'll give you, the last little tip here, the word mystery in English. I know you know it. Easy, no hay misterio detrás de la palabra mystery. Sin embargo, he visto alumnos escribir mystery con I latina al principio. Los dos vocales ahí es M-Y-S-T-E-R-Y. So there are 2 Y's in the word mystery. I know you know how to say it. I know you recognize it, but just be aware if you're going to jot it down. So, my amigos, thank you so much once again. I hope you guys will join us tomorrow on the show for more exciting English. Stay tuned for my amiga Ximena Holiday. Yow! Take a ride, just to the right, and we'll talk about the thing you can't explain. Woo! Come on. Nice
job, amigos. And thanks for learning and laughing with us here every day on the show with no name.
Newsflash. We interrupt our regularly scheduled program to bring you this breaking news. Attention all show with no namers. As of January 2024, the Show with No Name live stream will be available exclusively to my patrons. If you'd like to continue to watch the show daily and participate in real time, join us at patreon.com/Alberto Alonso. And what is Patreon, you may ask? Well, as many of you know, I've been teaching for over 20 years. I've taught all kinds of people, from famous folks to young kids. And with a background in acting, I love communication. I have a radio show that's been on the air for 15 years and a very successful podcast called FYI. I've also written 5 books and have appeared on numerous TV and radio programs. But the thing I'm most proud of is this curious community on Patreon that we are creating every day together. And I really think you should join us. For as little as €3 a month, you can have access to Show with No Name live stream daily. Every week you can get a bonus episode of FYI. Also PDFs so you can follow the podcast. And the moment you sign up, you'll have access to an archive of over 1,000 posts. You'll also get early access to all my content. And a new feature, a chat, so you can have direct access to me and your fellow students. And most of all, you'll be a part of a curious community of people just like you, English explorers. Consider joining us on Patreon for as little as €3 a month, and you'll get access to so many English resources. And I highly recommend you sign up for a yearly membership. This way you make a commitment and you'll also save 10%. And don't take my word for it. Just ask some of my interstellar students.
I've already improved my pronunciation, and as a consequence, I've gained a lot of confidence in my speaking. Thanks to our weekly review class and our monthly masterclass, where, by the way, to top it off, we have a lot of fun. In a nutshell, if you are willing to better your English much more in a fun way, you won't regret it if you join us.
Alberto is a passionate teacher, an excellent communicator, and what I think is key, he's able to put himself in the student's shoes. He's always willing to help. You'll have access to a wide range of topics every week, bonus content, vocabulary receipts, weekly review classes, monthly master classes, and so on. I think it's much more than just learning English. So go to Patreon, have a look around, and give it a try.
Because it has helped me keep my English in check and just, improve my language skills in the most fun way, because his podcast is really, really, really entertaining and fun, and so are the classes that we have afterwards to revise and go over the vocabulary and just discuss interesting topics. So if you're considering becoming a Patreon, don't hesitate, because that's a great way to improve your English.
We now return you back to your regularly scheduled program.
So what are you waiting for? Learn and laugh with us in our curious community over on patreon.com/Alberto Alonso. See you there.